Taiwan, I'm Reece Ayers with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The world's leading chip maker, Taiwan's TSMC, is riding high on the AI wave, reporting record second quarter profits. That's despite investor concerns over US tariffs and the appreciation of the new Taiwan dollar. Chris Gorin was at the company's Taipei earnings conference and brings us this report.
Record high profits once again as Taiwan chip giant TSMC reports profits of $13.5 billion, a 60% jump over the same quarter last year and a record high for the company. That should be good news for investors worried about the impact of potential US tariffs and the rapid appreciation of Taiwan's currency against the US dollar. CEO and Chair C.C. Wei acknowledged that those factors, especially the exchange rate, have affected the company. And that has made the company's outlook for 2025 more conservative, with a prediction of 30% revenue growth for the full year.
We take into the consideration of the possible impact of tariff and a lot of other uncertainties. But I guarantee you, with our technology leadership position and excellent manufacturing, if there are any opportunities, we will catch.
Executives also addressed the recent announcement from TSMC customer NVIDIA that the U.S. may lift export controls and allow sales of its H20 AI chip in China.
We did not receive the signal yet, so it's too early to give you an estimate. But certainly, it is a good news, right? I mean, that's China is a big market, and my customer can still continue to supply the chip to the big market. And it's a very positive news for them. And in return, it's a very positive news to TSMC.
So despite some uncertainties in the global economy, strong demand for AI is propping up the company responsible for 90% of the world's most advanced chips. And they're expecting robust, if slightly slowed, growth. Scott Huang and Chris Gorin in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Hackers linked to China are targeting Taiwan's semiconductor industry, according to Reuters. The report cites research from a cybersecurity firm showing that up to 20 organizations were targeted in a series of cyber espionage campaigns between March and June. Victims include semiconductor design, manufacturing and supply chain firms, as well as financial analysts at Asian firms and one US headquartered investment bank. South Korea's highest court has upheld a not guilty verdict for Samsung Electronics chair J.Y. Lee in a long-running legal case. Lee was tried for stock manipulation and accounting fraud related to a merger of Samsung affiliates in 2015. He was found not guilty in 2 lower court rulings. South Korea's business community has welcomed the Supreme Court's verdict. A leading industry group said it will help the country's economy at a time of trade tensions with the US. South Korea was hit with 25% tariffs earlier this month. A storm is raging over the rights of migrant workers in Taiwan's fishing fleet. That's after an expose from CNN alleged inhumane conditions at sea. A group of NGOs is now pushing the Labour Ministry to act. John Van Trieste reports.
Taiwan has the world's second largest deep-sea fishing fleet. There's a good chance the seafood in your local supermarket was trawled by a Taiwan-flagged ship. But there are growing concerns about conditions on board for the largely Southeast Asian crews. The story of Indonesian fishing worker Silwanus Tangkota, detailed in a CNN report, has caused a stir in Taiwan and led NGOs to gather outside the Labor Ministry. A human rights activist among them recounts what allegedly happened far out in the Pacific.
他因为一个意外，他的中指跟无名指被压伤之后呢，没办法获得立即的这一个救助。那该船的船长没办法让他立刻获得救助的理由，是因为渔获这艘船的渔获还没有够，所以要继续作业。 所以导致这个个案呢，他必须要忍着严重的这个痛楚呢，甚至拿这个牙签来刮他的骨头，让他就是说可以避免感染。
The article also alleges a pattern of wage theft, abuse, and counts at least one preventable death. Critics of the article say it focused on a few cherry-picked cases. But activists say systemic failures and a lack of awareness among fishers themselves means, in their words, that this is just the tip of an iceberg.
其实沿近海的渔工，他对于台湾的脉络更不熟悉，对于台湾的法令更不熟悉，对于 NGO 以及各项可以申诉管道也更不熟悉。因此，台湾的任何民间团体要收到来自远洋渔工的申诉，其实是更为不容易的。渔工要人权，渔工要人权，政府别睡觉，政府别睡觉。
These NGOs have 5 demands. Foreign workers in Taiwan's fishing fleet must have the same legal protections as domestic workers. Wi-Fi must be mandatory, so crew can call for help. Inspections at sea are needed to check on the crew. And there's a government push for corporate due diligence and regular labor ministry meetings with activists to promote workers' rights. They put these demands into a symbolic gift package for the labor ministry to open and consider. A ministry rep accepts the package and has this to say.
这个我们还是会持续透过跨部会的合作，去检讨改善，去找到一个最好的做法，然后持续去保障以及回应这些相关的诉求。
In response to TaiwanPlus, the fisheries agency said it has a, quote, zero-tolerance policy for labor exploitation. It added that a human rights action plan for fishers has been in place since 2022, and that it's addressing issues like withheld pay and promoting Wi-Fi access on board. But activists say problems persist in practice. Taiwan's fishing industry has appeared several times on the U.S. Labor Department's list of goods produced with forced labor. And just days ago, the EU sent delegates to call for Taiwan to put Wi-Fi on ships and sign agreements on workers' rights with countries like Indonesia and the Philippines, the home countries for most of the 20,000 crew members. Concerns about migrant fishery workers' rights go back years. NGOs hope the latest controversy will bring a push for real change. Hank Xu and John Van Trieste in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Sherding Natural Park at the southern tip of Taiwan has been a haven for the local ecosystem and nature lovers. The nearby community hopes the park's growing popularity provides a chance to teach more people about sustainability. Irene Lin reports.
那个叫黄金蛹啊，月千叶就是一个躲避天敌。
With more than 50 types of butterfly, hundreds of plant species, and distinct natural scenery such as trees growing atop ancient coral reefs, Sherding Natural Park in Pingtung County, part of Kending National Park, is many nature lovers' favorite secret spot in the far south of Taiwan. Zhao Mingkun is one of the park rangers here. He says giving these small group tours has been an educational experience for both the visitors and himself.
在你做生态导览分享的过程当中，可以很深入的去了解这个物种。
The park is quieter than most tourist attractions, which has helped local flora and fauna flourish with as little disturbance as possible. But some animals have had to rely on humans, such as the Formosan sika deer. It was once on the brink of extinction, now repopulating its habitat after years of effort.
我曾经有一次的经验，就看到梅花鹿，3只母鹿带着2只小梅花鹿走进我们社区的步道，很多人都坐飞机到日本去看奈良的梅花鹿啊，我们自己本身花这么长的时间来富裕这个资源，我们都一直都没有利用到的。
The eastern area of the park has been reserved for Formosan sika deer research. As the park gains popularity, the local community may face more challenges maintaining the harmony between humans and nature. But they're still optimistic that with more education and exposure, people may grow to cherish what nature has to offer. Patrick Chen and Ringlin for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before we go, we take you to France, where they're restoring the iconic Fort Boyard Sea Fortress. I'm Reece. Take care and see you next time.
I'm Leslie Liao in New York City, and this is TaiwanPlus News, a voice of freedom in Asia.